Well, this should be a fun little problem here. In the directions, it did say that everything in this problem pertains to the arithmetic sequences and series. Let's discuss first the goal. Here is the goal. S sub 500 minus S sub 499. Recall that S 500 is A1 plus A2 plus all the way down to A 499 plus A 500. That's S sub 500, the sum of the first 500 terms. Similarly, A sub 499 is the sum of the first 499 terms. But if you subtract all of these, all of that, so you're taking away this from that. If you do that, then A1, A2, all the way to 499 are gonna knock out A1, A2 all the way to 499, where the only piece that remains is the 500th individual term. So really the goal here is just to find the 500th individual term. That is the interpretation. So the goal is really to find this. That is the goal because this equals that. So what are the two formulas that we're going to need? We're going to need the arithmetic sequence, which is this one here, and we're going to need the arithmetic series, which is this one there. Yes, yes, yes. Look at what I'm given. Let's focus on this piece. So this says A101, A3. Let me make some labels. What is A101? A101 equals, well, go to A sub n, this one here, and instead of the n's, put 101. So this would be A1 plus 101 minus 1 times d, which if you clean that up, it's A1 plus 100d. Similarly, let me create A3. A3 would be A1 plus 3 minus 1 times d. Yes, yes, I just took 3 and I plugged it in there and there. That can be simplified to become A1 plus 2d. So now what I want to do is I want to create this equation again. I want to write it down again. But instead of A101, I'm going to use that. Instead of A3, I'm going to use that. So it would be A1 plus 100d equals, or plus 3 rather, plus 3, because that is that, plus 3 is plus 3, equal sign is equal sign, and on this side we have 80 times A3. But what's A3? It's A1 plus 2d. Maybe I can distribute the 80. So A1 plus 100d plus 3 equals 80 A1 plus 160d. And maybe I can subtract A1 from that and subtract 100 from that. So 3 would be by itself, and that'll be 79 A1 plus 60d. Now, with this pink marker, let me just put like a little asterisk right there. And let me walk away for a moment. Let me leave that be. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to come back. Now let's play with this information here. Recall what this is. That symbol represents a series, this one here, where this series goes from 1 to 11. So I am adding together the first 11 terms. So that symbol means this here. And since it goes from 1 to 11, I can drop 11 there, there, and there. So what I'm saying is that that is the same as this here. It'll be S11 equals 11 over 2, A1 plus A11. That is this, which is that. And since this equals this, which equals that, and since this equals that, then really, look, you see these 4 players? All 4 of these items are the exact same thing. So I can go this equals this equals that equals this, whatever I want. And honestly, I feel like going this equals that. So here's another equation that I'm about to create. This equals that. 11 over 2, A1 plus A11 equals 187. And check it out right quick. You see A11? What we got for A11? Let me do it right here. I'm all over the place, but it's okay. I want to see what A11 is worth. So I'm going to put 11 there and 11 there. So A11 is A1 plus 11 minus 1 times D. So that A11 is A1 plus 10D. So by substitution, that little blue bubble, which is A11, can go right there. So I have 11 over 2, A1 plus 10D, right? A11 is that because of that, equals 187. That fraction's bothering me. It's been bothering me for a minute. So let me get rid of that fraction. Let me multiply by 2 11ths. Both sides, 2 11ths. And I do that because here, bye-bye. And this would be, that's what's left over, but I can go A1 plus A1, which is 2A1. I'm getting tired over here. Plus 10D equals, that on a fraction would be 34. And, ooh, check it out. This equation, all even. So I can divide every one by 2. And now, with my pink marker, I want you to see that we have a system of equations here. These two equations can create a system. And I'll create the system down here in purple, where the first equation says A1 plus 5D equals 17. And the other one from earlier in the video, 79A1 plus 60D equals 3. Put a bracket. Let's solve that system. How about, check it out. I'm going to knock out the D's by multiplying the top equation by negative 12, because that'll make a negative 60, which will knock this out. So let me distribute the negative 12, and that'll be negative 12A1 minus 60D equals negative, what's 17 times 12? Haven't memorized that one. 204. The bottom equation, I will leave it as is because we're almost finished here. Check it out. That's still a system. But now I want to add because the D's knock out. Bye-bye. That would be 67A1 equals negative 201. And does that divide nicely? Let me divide both sides by 67. And ooh, that works out so beautifully. This tells me that A1 is negative 3. So I know my first term, negative 3. Maybe I need to find the common difference. So why don't you take negative 3, which is A1, and maybe go back to this equation here in pink, and let's drop negative 1 in negative 3, and for A1 right there. And that would be, let me go over here now. So that'll be negative 3 plus 5D equals 17. Add the 3 so that 5D equals 20. And then divide by 5 so that the common difference is 4. So we have the first term and the common difference. So our formula, if we use our sequence is now activated. And here is our sequence. A of n equals, it equals A1, which is negative 3, plus n minus 1 times d, which is 4. But what do I want this sequence for? The overall goal was to find the 500th term. So plug 500 in to your formula. Maybe I should have used another paper like 10 minutes ago. So the 500th term equals negative 3 plus 500 minus 1 times 4, which if you type that into your calculator, it's going to be like, let's see what this is. So please forgive the sloppiness of this video. I didn't think that I would need that much paper, but I did because this problem is crazy. Look at this problem. It's so crazy. But anyways, that is the final answer. This required a system of equations along with a correct interpretation of the goal. So final answer is 1993.